All right, let's go ahead and get started. I know some people are probably still filtering through, so feel free to just sit back and relax. We've got 30 minutes of some great content for you guys. Thank you for joining us. This is the second installment of the WillScot Webinar Series. The second episode is about rebuilding with Flex, modular space for critical moments. Today we have joining us let's see here. We'll go through our agenda next, but we'll meet the experts first. We've got Ashley Schramm from WillScot. She's our senior product manager. For the last 2 years, she's been overseeing WillScot's Flex product line. Her immense amount of knowledge and experience is going to be great today. She'll be able to walk us through all of the great product features and benefits of Flex. And then we have Keenan Lindsay, also from WillScot, joining us. He's the Senior Director and General Manager of the Central Plains region. He has a lot of experience. You'll see him in one of the videos that we feature here today, and they've got a lot to bring to the table. So we're going to go ahead and get right started. We're going to kick it off. And Keenan, take it away.
All right. So I appreciate everybody's time this afternoon, this morning, depending on where we're at. But I think first and foremost, on my end, we're going to kind of show a demonstration of a project we wrapped up here at WillScot about 18 months ago. And it kind of just demonstrates the complete versatility and adaptability of the Flex product here. So if you want to go to the next slide for us there, Brittany. So to the right there, you can see, one more, go back one. There we go. So to the right there, you're going to see that there's a fully functioning campus that we built on the island of Maui in Hawaii. So that was following the wildfires in Lahaina in 2023 that really devastated the larger portion of one of the islands. And so upon awarding, we were given 90 days to build this campus out. It was fully functioning with the restrooms, libraries, classrooms, administrative offices, mechanical offices. And so, as you guys can imagine, there was quite a bit of logistical challenges to accommodate that. We can't just run down to a Home Depot and grab the materials we need to make this happen, right? So we did partner with several good general contractors that did the site preparation work. And really, logistically, we brought in the boxes from surrounding islands, but also from the mainland. We'll get into that a little bit in a future slide. Kind of a cool process we did there. And then also materials. We were getting materials from across North America via air in some cases and via ship in other locations. So we do have a very, very large branch network that allows us to lean on each other quite heavily and to get a lot of this done. So what we ended up delivering to the customer inside of that 90-day window, actually 87 days to be exact, was 336 Flex modules that we put together to comprise this campus. So if you want to go to the next slide for us, Brittany. And inside, we can kind of see some images of what those classrooms look like, right? So what we strive to do is provide turnkey solutions to our clients, whether it's educational or otherwise, right? In this case, obviously being a school, we have the desks, we have whiteboards, chairs, and the administrative side, we had, full kitchenettes, things like that. And then we built out a full cafeteria to include drinking fountains, lunchroom tables, everything that would be needed to run a functioning campus. And I believe this is the video. We'll all tune in and listen to this video. Might give some extra context. This is a remote part of a very remote island, and the community lost everything. They lost everything.
It was a mix of emotions, people angry, people sad, people trying to help out. You put everything aside. It doesn't matter what your background is, your bias, everything. It just goes aside, and you got to provide the bare essentials for people so they can live.
There's 30 classrooms with an administration building, a learning resource center, a cafeteria, support services. Right now we're ready to open and we're gonna go through the year like this is our home.
Well, this was the first infrastructure project done on this entire side of the island. It was intense. We were doing 24-hour shifts towards the end, and we didn't have a single complaint from over the 100+ employees we had cycled through here, because everybody kind of understood the importance of this to the community, to the state, and to the country.
With what the teachers got from what WillScot gave us, I was very pleasantly surprised on how they took this environment and turned it into such a captivating learning space.
They're hanging up all their artwork and they're proud of it and they're happy. I mean, this is a campus that is going to be out here for a considerable amount of time. And I think as a company, this is why we position ourselves the way we do. There's no other company that could do what we did out here. So you can just go to the next slide. But I think, you know, the biggest benefit to this Flex product is how quickly we can scale it up and how adaptable it is to any job site, right? So and also for any end use. So simultaneously, while we were actually building the school campus, we did build a hospital also in Lahaina as well. So we've used it for pretty much every possible purpose, and I think that's one of its strengths. But you can see from a logistics standpoint, you know, typically if it's on a mainland, we can deliver it on a flatbed truck. We can fit two 20-foot flex units per run, leveraging our, you know, we have over 300 branches inside of WillScot. So, you know, we do have a few hundred drivers as well. So we can really move a lot of these should we need to for disaster recovery. And then down below that, you can see we actually shipped 200 of these in one time to the Hawaiian Islands as well. So that passage took about 12 days. So, you know, you can see that because we're storing these strategically across the greater North America continent, we can really draw from almost anywhere to deliver it to a job site, should it be a tornado relief, a hurricane relief, or in this case, a wildfire relief. They're also adaptable, so once we get them on job site, we can really scale them up or down. We can move walls, we can add kitchens, restrooms really quickly, as opposed to, you know, traditional construction where we're having to frame everything out, redo the electrical. I mean, these are very plug and play, which allows us to build that campus that we saw in 87 days, right? We sent all those boxes as shells and we built out the interior floor plans with electrical once they were set on site. And you can skip this one. And really, this is what we were just discussing. But yeah, 336 units delivered and installed, and you know, a lot of these boxes are moving over 3,000 miles to get to their final destination on a remote part of the country. So that campus comprised of cafeteria, full kitchen, classrooms, administrative space, everything you could possibly need to run a school, to include that playground that we saw. And it's really about all I have on this slide. So I think we can, and I think at this point, I'm going to hand it off to my colleague, Ashley. She'll actually talk about the product itself, and then we'll open up to some good Q&A and answer some questions you guys might have.
Great. Thanks, Keenan. So now we're just going to do, like you said, a quick deep dive into Flex. So what is it? Flex is the future modular space. It's a panelized structure that can solve basic needs, such as a temporary office during a construction project, or complex needs, such as modular classroom that you just saw with Lahaina, or a sales office application. Flex has a modern appearance with its bright open spaces and neutral look, so it's ideal for those client-facing or high-profile uses. Flex offers maximum flexibility, hence its name, due to its panelized design. And as you can see in this visual here, it shows an open concept on the second floor for meeting and collaboration space. And then on the first floor showcases private offices and an in-unit restroom, if you can see behind that two-story step system there. Our team of experts can help design this space to meet your exact needs. And then you can outfit Flex with full vision windows, as you can see in the back of that second floor there, to allow for natural light, or you can upgrade to the carpeting, or you can upgrade to our unique plexiglass walls for that premium experience. And as you can also see in this visual, you can stack Flex up to 2 or 3 stories high. So it's great for those urban environments or where space is a premium. Then Keenan had already mentioned this, but Flex is very scalable. So if there's a project with multiple phases or changes in personnel that will be on site, or just changes in the actual use of the building, Flex can adapt with you. So whether that's increasing the size of the complex, adding a second floor for more space, or downsizing your complex, repurposing the interior layout, Flex can really accomplish that for you. So if we look to Flex and modular space as beyond just the temporary, right? Flex provides stability through its design and is a temporary space, but it feels permanent and it just doesn't feel like a trailer. Flex is comfortable, it's a good learning environment, it's a good working environment, which provides continuity, especially in a disaster situation. And its higher end finishes allow for more natural light and has modern aesthetics, which provides that premium experience. As mentioned earlier, Flex is scalable, so it can adapt with you as your needs change. And as far as the community, it can support during transitions and helps restore morale. And last, WillScot is here to support you with our large branch network. Again, Keenan had already mentioned that we're ready to deploy space for your needs. So now being disaster ready, which is also very crucial. So having that disaster ready plan will provide continuity and support when disaster strikes. And as we know, it's unpredictable. WillScot partners with schools, cities, and businesses to develop strategies to be prepared. And WillScot actively bids contracts that public organizations can take advantage of in any situation, but especially in the discovery or disaster recovery. So in conclusion, don't wait, reach out and partner with WillScot to proactively make a plan for continuity. And then to conclude the presentation, just to talk through and highlight how WillScot can outfit your site and be your sole source. So WillScot, we strive not to just be your vendor that provides a building. We want to provide the total space solution, including the furnishings. So the standing desks, the chairs, refrigerators, TVs, all the way down to the basic Keurig. We recently launched solar as a power solution and have air purifiers for a safe and clean environment. We mobilize your buildings with ramps and steps that are OSHA and ADA compliant. For restrooms, because we all know we use restrooms, we provide in-unit restrooms, portable toilets, restroom trailers that provide a comfortable environment. And then for your storage needs, we have containers in different lengths and widths with basic to premium shelving options and lighting to make finding materials and tools that much easier. We can provide the perimeter solutions such as fencing for site protection. And then last, we provide protection plans to keep your valuables safe and then to safeguard your units. And this next final slide, Brittany, if you want to hit on that, is just to highlight WillScot's total space offerings. So just a quick list of our top solutions, which include the clear span structures, the climate controlled storage units to help maintain a cold temperature for your perishables or other equipment. We already discussed the storage containers and then the perimeter fencing. We provide the standard mobile offices that you're all familiar with seeing on a construction job site, the large modular complexes or buildings to house large teams or other functions. And then as previously mentioned, as we newly launched solar power by WillScot.
Awesome. Thank you both so much. That's going to take us now into our Q&A session. And so I see that we've already actually got quite a few questions here in the question and answer chat. The first one that we have here, let's see, is, and I think this could be probably for either of you, how quickly can Flex units be deployed in a disaster recovery scenario?
Ashley, you want to take that, or you want me to take it?
Well, you have real time experience. I'll hit on it a little bit, but very quick. I mean, these units are 8 wide in the width, so there's no permitting required to get these units out to site. So I've heard of scenarios where we've delivered something same day or within 24, 72 hours. You know, the more complex the project needs get and where it's actually getting placed will dictate the timing. But as you know, like the massive project that Keenan worked on was a lot of space very quickly. So it's a very easily deployed product.
And I think it also depends on where it's at in the country, to her point, right? If it's in Los Angeles, we have a large hub there that's very quickly easy to pull from, right? If it's a rural part of America, it might be a little bit more challenging for us to get there as quickly. But I will say that, to Ashley's point, same day, as quickly as we can really come to terms that we can be out there. We do draw from, not only are we assembling these things brand new, but we do draw from a large stockpile of idle fleet that has returned. So we always have something on hand that we could send out as quickly as possible.
Awesome. This is a really good question. How secure are Flex units in high risk or post-disaster environments?
So I'll take that one, Keenan. So our flex units are very durable. They're weather resistant. They're non-combustible. They're equipped with secure doors and windows, additional security features. You've got the locks, the lighting, all of that on the exterior of the building. But it's a very strong makeup. Like I said, the non-combustible feature of flex. It does pass recent code, so it's code compliant. You know, my past experience, it passes New York City building code. So it's the requirements of Flex and what Flex satisfies is very high.
Awesome. We got another one. What utilities are required to get a flex unit up and running?
Good question. So, you know, we deliver the space on site. As I mentioned, we try to outfit it with the interior walls, the furnishings, all of that. And then once we leave site, the customer just has to make a connection for electrical, data, and plumbing. So if we're providing the water tanks, waste tanks, then you don't have to worry about connecting to plumbing. But if you have access to public sewer or water, you make the plumbing connection there on the outside. But otherwise, I think Keenan literally used this verbiage earlier. It's a plug and play system. So all the electrical and all the data is pre-wired. It goes to an exterior electrical box or an exterior data junction box, and then you make the live connections from there, and then the unit will be live and ready to go.
Well said.
Awesome. We've got a couple actually are asking kind of the same thing. So one of them is saying, how much floor space does each floor have? And how much does oh, never mind. It's just that question. So how much floor space does each floor have?
Okay, so each flex box is 20 by 8 increments, and it's a what we call like high cube in the industry, or it's a higher ceiling. So the box is 9 foot 6 inches, and then you have your ceiling and floor to make up the top and bottom. But the actual floor size, like I said, 20 by 8, so it's 160 square feet per flex box, and then you can increase the size of your complex lengthwise and widthwise. Actually, widthwise, you can extend it infinite. And then I had mentioned earlier, you can stack it up to 2 or 3 stories high. But one floor is 160 square feet. Generally, we are seeing that if you're offering a flex solution in addition to or in lieu of traditional trailers, because flex is a more functional and more purposeful design, you're generally actually renting less square footage. We're seeing customers actually save roughly 30% of their square footage on site even before stacking. So then once you're stacking, it gets even more dramatic.
And I think
Awesome.
actually as well, just to piggyback off that, right? I think the energy efficiency savings, right? And you could probably speak to that quite a bit better than I, but I think that they're also pretty much equivalent to what we'd see as far as the space savings, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's a low draw HVAC unit on the buildings. They have higher R value or insulation. They have higher insulation in the walls and the ceiling and the roof, which helps make it a better climate controlled type of space.
Yep.
Awesome. There's one more question in here, and it's what sizes and layouts are available for flex units? I know we kind of talked about that a little bit with talking about stacking them, but if there's anything else to expand upon that.
Sure. So it's infinite. It's a wide range of sizes. Like I mentioned earlier, lengthwise, widthwise, you can extend it a number of times, infinite number of times. So really, if you can dream it, we can design it. We have basic floor plans from our experts that, we have a design team that does these layouts for literally a living, and can produce stuff for you. So whether it's the private offices, if you need open workstations or cubicle space, you need ADA restrooms, meeting spaces, classroom space, an area where you can, operationally have customers coming in and out. We can design the space based off of your needs. You just tell us what you need and we'll fit it into the right square footage.
And I'll also say, as we're modifying these buildings, if when you compare it to our traditional modular product, these are much more sustainable. We're removing walls, adding walls, or changing doors places, or anything you guys can possibly imagine. Literally nothing is hitting the dumpster. Where our traditional modular products, we're ripping out lumber, we're ripping out wall paneling and electrical and insulation and all that, and a lot of that does end up in the trash, unfortunately, right? Well, with a Flex product, virtually none of it's being wasted. And so I think that's another really strong asset that we have with this product, is that it is sustainable as it really gets in this space.
Agreed.
Awesome. That was fantastic. Thank you both. Thank you, Keenan. Thank you, Ashley, for sharing your expertise and your experience, especially with the Lahaina project. Um, that'll bring us to the end of our presentation here. So for everyone who's joined us today, if you have more questions or you want to speak to somebody about how to get disaster ready, we've got our sales number here. You can go ahead and scan this QR code and it'll bring you to willscot.com, where you can reach out. From there, you can talk to one of our chatbots, you can give us a call, or you can do some deep dive on some projects that we have in some case studies that are on there. So don't be shy, feel free to reach out. After this meeting is done, then you can go ahead and you can complete the survey. It'll pop up on your screen. You'll also have it emailed directly to you. You'll have the opportunity to request the webinar recording from today and to register for upcoming webinars. So again, thank you from WillScot. We appreciate your time. Have a great day. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Good to
you.
see you.